Alright, so we have this recording here going on because we need to show off this thing in particular. This thing hasn't been shown off yet to anybody here, so... It has been shown off, I'm sorry, but we need to actually show a video of how this works. So, we have a party here set up, and we have a party fighting against these, the Super Kedamas. And we need these monsters because they cast a certain skill that Satori can learn, and it's kind of a hard one to learn. It's probably the hardest skill if you're not knowing what you're doing. But yes, for this party, for this monster setup, we need a monster group that has this monster in it. And you also need a party of at minimum 3 people. We need Satori to learn the skill. We need a heavy hitter to kill a monster. Satori doesn't have anything to kill a monster with on one turn. And we need Reimu to cast the certain spell. So with that said, on the first turn, we're gonna just go ahead and just kill some monsters here. You can attack that, and just in case they do something stupid, just do that. This party can have Starlight Barrier, so if that happens, then you're gonna have to work your way around that. Alright, so turn 1, you need to kill at least 1 monster. If you want to kill more monsters, go right ahead. But first turn you do that. On the second turn, you want to cast Hakurei Multiplex Barrier because it has a 50% decoy on your party when it's cast. Don't ask me why, that's how it works. But once you do that, you have a chance of learning a certain skill. And there you go. Raise Dead learned. Whew! That only took me about a couple of tries there. Okay, so Raise Dead is a skill that is only casted by the Super Kedamas and 2 other monsters, but you have to charm or interrupt them. For the Super Kedama, you can learn from them, but you need to Hakurei Multiplex Barrier because apparently interrupting them doesn't necessarily work. If you do that, then you have to do a different tactic to learn it. But with that said, they only cast Raise Dead when it's a monster that's dead. So turn 1 you have to kill a monster, and then turn 2 you cast a Multiplex Barrier to give yourself a decoy. But the catch is that the Super Kedamas, every turn that's passed, they have a higher chance of casting Sacrifice, so that they just kill themselves. So if the move fails, you have to go away and run away, and then go to somebody else and try again, because they'll just sacrifice themselves and kill themselves. So turn 1 you have to kill a monster, turn 2 you cast a Hakurei Multiplex Barrier, and hope that they cast Raise Dead on your party member. In this case, Satori. So, this is one way of doing it. The only other way of doing it is to charm interrupt them, like you do with Leaf Shield and Starlight Barrier. But charming them and 2 other monsters, which is the Phoenix and the Spirit Tortoise from the Great Temple, that's kind of hard to do, because I don't think the Phoenix can be charmed or controlled. If it can, then it's kind of hard to do. Like, really, really, really hard to do. But, with that said, since we just learned it from these guys, there's really no reason to actually just stick around with this guy. So, let's just go ahead and just finish him off. But yeah, that skill next to... Wow, but this skill next to the Hyper Fang Crush, which is a skill only learned from the boss, Hakurei. This is probably the hardest skill to learn in the game. Probably. I'm not fully sure that's a legit thing. You know what? I'm curious to see if she can actually do that. I'm curious. I'm a bit curious. Alright, so you can just do that again. There you go. But yes, this is one of the few ways that you can learn this skill. And it's definitely a hard thing to do, because again, you have to get the right setup, the right party for this, and all sorts of things. So, yay, this worked, somehow. Yay. Paralyze yourself. If you don't die, then just paralyze yourself. But, there you go. That is the one way of doing it. You can have, you can probably have somebody as a party member to help you out with this, or a party leader, team leader, commander, person, thing. You can have somebody there to try and help you out with, like, stats up to kill them all, but it's not necessarily needed. It's just turn 1 kill, turn 2 Hakurei Multiplex Barrier, and hope that it works. So, there you go. That's how you get raised dead.